I'm jumping ahead of myself because I'm so excited. I'm a little bit in shock, I think. So welcome to our monthly budget closeout for April. So at the beginning of the month, we build our monthly budget and we make it zero-based. So we give every single dollar a name. Throughout the month, we track all of our transactions and make sure they're being applied to the correct categories. So we're keeping an eye on our spending all month long. Then at the end of the month, actually a couple days into the next month, to make sure that all of our transactions have cleared, we go back and we see how we did and we close out our month. So we're going to look at how we did for the whole month.
Hi, I'm Megan with Bethel Budgets. I'm here because it's more than just math. At some point, you've probably built a budget. You've laid out your income, you've laid out your expenses, and thought it's simple math. I'll just stick to what's on the paper. But then life happened and your budget didn't work out. The reason? Because it's more than just math. That's where I come in. Let's figure this out together. Don't give up. You've got this.
To be more specific, we're going to look at the things that we've tracked in every dollar, and we're going to put those in our monthly budget spreadsheet, and we're going to get a number at the end. And it's going to be red if we're over budget, and we're going to figure out, are we in debt now? Do we need to transfer from savings? How are we going to pay for some of these things? Or we're going to get a green number, which means we have extra money that we get to transfer to savings or put in towards our debt. Whatever our priorities list for extra income says our next goal is, that's where we're going to apply that money. Or we're going to get a black number, which means we're right on budget and we did perfect throughout the month. That's actually pretty rare because a lot of this is guessing and rounding, and so you'll almost always get a red number or a green number. So let's jump in. On my screen here, you can see my every dollar is set up over here. We're in the month of April because we're closing out April. And then I've got my April monthly budget set up over here on the left. This is all of my categories here and my planned spending here. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our actual numbers from every dollar that we've tracked all month long. We're going to plug them into the received category. As we plug in these received numbers, these actuals, it's going to tell us how we did on each line item individually and then in each category. And then at the very end, we'll get these numbers. I'll scroll down and show you. And at the very end, it's going to show us how we did overall, how we did what our actual income was versus our actual expenses and our ending balance. And that'll be a red or a green or a black number. And that's what we're looking for. We want to know how we did overall for the whole month. Let's go plug in all of these numbers. So let's start with our income. I'm going to plug in our income and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so as you can see, this was before I've talked ad nauseum in all of my videos about how I've been trying to get my HSA straightened out. We've been trying to make our contributions to fully fund our HSA throughout the year, and I missed the due date in the first month that I tried, and then the ticket request was lost, and so it's been quite a fiasco to try to get this done. Finally, for May, it is complete, but as you can see, as of April 1st, when I got paid for April, it was not. So I planned to earn $2,100 and I got $2,448, which you would think would be a whole bunch of extra income, but actually that means that I had to pay some things out of our monthly budget instead of out of our HSA. So while this number is green and looks like we are going to be okay, that's not exactly what that means. So we'll see how we do overall. And then we got another extra $100 here from my husband's income. So that might actually help. We'll see how that goes. So my husband's income, actually this might help us out a little bit. Tithe, I planned $690. Let's scroll down on every dollar and see how we did. I did $658.86. That's a strange number. I'm gonna have to figure out why that is. Scrolling down to savings, lump sum sinking funds. I planned to transfer $516. I plan to do that on the last week of the month, and I haven't done that yet because I like to wait until after my monthly closeout is done. I totally believe in paying yourself first. However, I'm here preaching about more than just math moments all the time. And I've learned over time that one of my more than just math moments is when I do more than one transfer a month, I forget about the money that I've transferred, I squirrel it away. I know that I need to transfer all my money just one day a month. And so I wait to transfer that lump sum sinking funds until after I've done my monthly closeout, because I know I'm going to probably have more money to transfer and put into my lump sum sinking funds. So I wait until my monthly closeout is done, and I pick one day a month. I call it Transfer Tuesday. It doesn't have to be on a Tuesday. I usually do it on a Saturday and film it and then post it on a Tuesday, but it's just one day a month that I do all of my transfers. So I am holding off on that until I see how we do today. So you get to find out with me how much money I actually get to transfer. Now, if I go over budget, this is where I end up pulling money from sometimes, but I also have savings and a buffer, so it will always be okay. But this is my one we're gonna work on today. So you're gonna work on it with me. So housing, let's scroll down to housing and look at housing in every dollar. So let me plug in these numbers and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so water, sewer, trash, if you've been on my channel for a minute, you know that water, sewer, trash is paid every other month. I used to do a sinking fund for it, and I'd put money in and then I'd take it out the next month. That's a lot of transfers back and forth, and it just became too much for me. I was missing things and I would pay it on the wrong month, or it was a big mess for us. So now I just treat it like an envelope and I keep that in my checking account. So I planned $150. It's not due until next month, but that $150 will just sit in my checking account as a buffer. Next month when that bill is due, I add that $150 to it, because our water, sewer, trash is usually like $220, but I want to make sure we're covered because it's an every other month bill. I just would like to make sure we have enough. We did, the summer that we got flooded, we did hit $300 just because we were washing so many things. So that's the highest we ever hit. So that's what I want to keep in there, and that's what we do. And then when that bill is due, it's there. It can come out of my checking account worry-free. Then I can transfer anything left over after that out and into savings. And then the internet, we have been paying $19.99 for a long time now, but that was because our area was getting a grant for the internet. And I got an email saying that grant was over and done with and our bill would be going up. So I put it back to what our old bill was, thinking that's what we would pay this month, but they still only took $19.99 out. So we have $30 in excess there. Hopefully that'll be well on its way to savings by the end of this. So this is looking pretty good, although 150 of that just is going to remain in my checking account as a buffer. So let's scroll down to food. Let's go to food in every dollar. Let me enter these numbers and I'll be right back with you. The food category, this is the closest we have been to staying on our food budget in months. We've been really watching this for we're doing a 3-month eagle eye watch on our grocery budget. And I mean, we've been going over budget $300 to $500 a month for our groceries. This is really impressive for us. I'm really proud of us to have only gone over $88.65. We've been really considering upping this grocery budget to like $1,500. So now this kind of has me second guessing that. I don't know. I don't know what was different, except for I was so busy we just didn't have time to go to the grocery store and we ate out of our pantry more. I don't know. Family dining out, we only went over by $5, so that's not bad. We saved $52 in date night, and we were over in fellowship by $4, so that put us over total by $46. So we'll see. It kind of washes that out there. Still, we're cutting it close. We'll see how we do at the end of the month. Okay, transportation. Let me plug these numbers in. I'll be right back with you. Transportation saved us a little money, even though we went over in our gas, which I've heard gas prices go up as the weather gets warmer and people travel more, which is really kind of dirty, but I don't know. We've always been really close with our gas budget. I hate to think we have to raise our gas budget just because it's warm outside and people are traveling. That kind of upsets me, but we'll see. I'm gonna watch this over the summer and make notes. Maybe next summer I need to up my budget. I don't know. That's something to think about. What are your thoughts on that? Have you noticed in the summer that the gas prices go up? Let me know down in the comments. We didn't get a car wash, so we saved $56 there. So it looks like we're ahead for transportation. Let's go down to personal, see how we did. I'm gonna plug these numbers in and I'll be right back with you. We saved a ton of money in personal. We went over in our shopping, which we tend to do. If there was one that we were going to go over in, it's typically food or shopping. We've really worked hard to trim that down. I know the last time I looked at this, we were only $8 over. So I wonder what that last, or we were $8 under. I can't remember. We were close, but I was really proud of us for coming in so close. So I wonder what that last $20 purchase was. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was a book. My husband bought a book. That's what it was. We'll see. But the hair and cosmetics, I did not get my hair appointment this month, but I did buy some hair products. So my hair appointment moved to next month, and we'll have my hair and some of my kids' hairs in there. So hopefully, I will probably go over on hair in May, but oh man, I didn't do that one very well. So while it looks really good and green here, that might bite us next month. But I was so busy. April is my busiest month of the year. So busy. So now we will scroll over and up and go to lifestyle. Nothing in childcare. I'm going to plug these numbers in and I will be right back with you. Lifestyle, we got, it looks like we did good, but I'm concerned about a few things. So I've written them down here. I don't know why pet care was so cheap. Yeah, the dogs thing did come out, so that's good. Maybe we just didn't apply the pet food to the right category, which would be good because that means we were even less over in groceries. I bet the pet food, which we bought, ended up in the grocery category, which sometimes happens and if I'm not careful. So that's probably what happened there. Entertainment, I don't know why we're $29 short in that. Like, we have $29 that we didn't spend there, but those are all subscriptions. So I wrote that down. Entertainment, to talk to my husband. Mosquito Squad still hasn't come out. That's on my husband's to-do list. He gets to do that research and haggle with all of the different mosquito companies in our area to find the best price. Now, unplanned, we have a $25 expense in here. My unplanned category is anything that I didn't have a plan for, that I need to have a plan for, or a conversation with my husband. So this $25 was a field trip. I have a sinking, or had a sinking fund for field trips, but at the kids' new school, all the field trips are included in their tuition. So we didn't need to have a field trip category anymore. So I kind of absorbed that into other sinking funds. However, what I didn't realize is that some field trips, if it costs money and a parent is going to go chaperone, that the parent has to pay their own way. So I need to reinstitute that sinking fund, which is fine. I just didn't have a plan for it, and that's why it goes in unplanned, and now we have a plan for it. So now I've got that sinking fund put back into my sinking fund list. At least I think I do. I'm writing it down right now. I think I took care of that, but if not, it's on my to-do list now so that I can take care of that. Then that's what the unplanned category is for. It cues me to make a plan for anything that happened that wasn't planned for. And I never apply any money to that. That gets $0. And I just have to figure that out when it happens. Going down to health, this is the category that gets kind of messed up with that HSA not coming through. Let me apply these numbers and I will be right back with you. Okay, so yeah, that's the $300 we're over now is because all of those things were supposed to come out of my HSA, but they couldn't because none of the money that I was going to contribute was applied to my HSA card, and so I had to pay for them out of my own pocket instead. Now I can apply for reimbursements for some of these things, or well, I can apply for reimbursements, but it's another step and it's another thing on my to-do list and I haven't done it. And so for now, it is what it is. And I said the same thing last month and I still haven't gone and applied for those things. So it's, you know, our brains are full and it's just another thing to add to the to-do list, which is ever growing. And I feel like for everything that I check off my to-do list, 3 more things are added. So this is really, it's been really upsetting that hasn't worked out, but it's fixed now. So May will be much better and we'll just hope this didn't hurt us too bad. Okay, moving down to debt. Okay, let me plug these numbers in. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we saved 2 cents because I've been rounding my numbers and that's the only reason there. Insurance, we don't put anything in because it's all coming out of our sinking funds, which does happen in May. All of that money will come out of those sinking funds for May. Let's go down to our what else category. I'll plug these in and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so you can see that we are under in the what else category. Now, transfers I do have over here. This is all transfers. This is money that is coming out of my sinking funds. So as I'm spending this money out of my lump sum sinking funds, this is a place for me to put it while I transfer it out of my high yield savings to reimburse myself for that. And then reimbursements is money that I've spent for work that I will get reimbursed for. So this is how I track that. But I'm not putting that into my monthly budget because that actually comes out of savings or gets reimbursed by work. So when you see these things over here, that's what that is, but that's why it's not going over here. So let's see how we did total. So when we did our budget here, we planned $6,900 for income, we planned $6,900 expenses, and our difference was 0. If we scroll up, our actual income was $7,348.59. Our actual expenses was $6,202.69, giving us an ending balance of positive $1,145.90. Is that right? I don't know about that. That feels really big. Let's go back and look at some of these things here. I think that number's right. That's really exciting. Wow. You know, I knew we were close. That's like a whole $600 more than I planned. 1145.90. So 1145.90. Let's go over to our lump sum sinking funds. 1145.90. We get to, that was $629 more that we did not spend that I planned to. Oh, but we got to take the 150 out. So, okay, so we have $1,145.90 under budget. So if we go, I'm jumping ahead of myself because I'm so excited. I'm a little bit in shock, I think. So what we're doing here is at the end of the month when we're doing our closeout, you look at these boxes here. And you're either gonna get over here, you're gonna get a green number, a red number, or a black number. So you get a red number if you're overspent. And that means, you spent more money than you had coming in. So first you're gonna identify what went wrong. And then next you're gonna cash out where you need to. Do you need to transfer money from savings? Do you have to adjust some sinking funds and pull money from sinking funds, rebalance some categories? And then you need to plan accordingly for next month. So this helps you to refine your budget for the following months. If you're completely going over your budget in your grocery category, for example, perhaps you need to raise your grocery budget. That is if you are trying to cut spending in groceries, if you are beginning to make your meals at home, if you are making cheaper meals, if you are doing everything you can and you're still going over in grocery budget, maybe it's time to up your grocery budget. So those kinds of things, it helps you to refine. Maybe if you're going over and you're dining out, you really got to figure out how to chop that. You've got to stop dining out. So you're making more meals at home. That's why we do a monthly closeout. It helps us to refine our budget for future months. Next, if you have a green number here, you are in this extra cash category. Congratulations. Now you're going to go look at your priority list for extra income and you're going to start applying your extra money where you planned. We'll get there in just a second. So I have $1,145.90. I have that $150 that I need to keep in my checking account for the water, sewer, trash bill. So I'm going to take that out of this number, which means I have $995.90 to transfer. That's huge. I'm so excited. Now we can go over here to our lump sum sinking funds. $995.09 is what I will put in my sinking funds. This number should be 150, And that's exactly what I planned to keep in my buffer for next month. Now we're going to go, I'll show you what I mean. We're going to jump over to our priority list for extra income, and we're going to put in today's date, the 4th, and we're going to put in the amount that we get to transfer, and this is going to go to sinking funds. So I'm going to make a note that this is from our April monthly budget closeout. So this is our priority list for extra income. You can't see it all, can you? I'll show you what this is a little bit. So here I've listed all of my priorities. So when you start budgeting, you're going to come up with a list of all of your priorities and your goals, and you're going to list them here. First thing you need to do is come up with an emergency fund so that when something happens, it doesn't mess you up completely. Second thing you need to do is get out of debt. So I've already filled in those first two for you. Then my next goal is sinking funds. I'm always trying to fill up my sinking funds. Sinking funds strengthen your monthly budget because it means your monthly budget can stay the same every month, as close to the same as possible. So, and then I have like my big things that I'm saving for right now. Next goal would be kids' cars, colleges, big vacations. I have those on here to keep in my brain, but really those are all sinking funds for me. So sinking funds are on my list. So my emergency fund is fully funded, and now I'm just working on my sinking funds. So I put the date, how much I'm applying, and then I can pick from this drop-down list whatever goal I'm applying this to. Right now, because I've got these two things met, I can start just putting all of this in my sinking funds. This debt thing, since I do have that phone, if you've watched my emergency fund my emergency fund update video, you can see that I do have a phone bill that I'm paying now, a credit card for my new phone. So that is counted as debt, but we are doing 2 sinking funds to fix our bathroom and our basement first. Then I'm going to tackle that phone. So right now I'm filling sinking funds first, and that's the order of my priorities. I need to probably update the order of this list, but I haven't done it yet. And then right here on this side, this is totaling all of that extra income that I get every month or every year throughout the year. It's keeping a total. This is how much money I've saved this year towards my actual goals because I'm tracking my spending, and I'm closing out my monthly budget, and I'm doing my transfers one day a month. So I highly recommend doing your monthly budget, tracking your spending, closing out your monthly budget. Huge steps for you to make progress with your goals. Keep going. You've got this.